Oscar de la Hoya has chosen Bernard Hopkins, his partner, as his next victim. In the end, Oscar de la Hoya and Bernard Hopkins have returned to where they started following a furious argument. It became so serious that it nearly escalated into a brawl before others intervened to separate them. After clashing with many opponents, Oscar de la Hoya has set his sights on his own business partner, Bernard Hopkins, as the next goal. Oscar de la Hoya and Bernard Hopkins are now back from where they started. A heated debate between the two almost turned into a complete battle. The situation became so hot that someone had to step in and separate them. Oscar de la Hoya and Bernard Hopkins have long been mainstays of the boxing industry, not only as renowned fighters, but also as collaborators in Golden Boy promotions. Their partnership has consistently appeared to be solid, with no public evidence of strife until lately. Oscar de la Hoya and Bernard Hopkins have been close business partners for years, and there was no opposition among them until now. So, what is causing an unexpected uproar in Camp Golden Boy Promotions? On Saturday night, a Golden Boy fighter scored one of the most disputed victories of the year, prompting various questions among fans and industry insiders. Surprisingly, Bernard Hopkins was a participant among many who did not find Ortiz's victory convincing, giving an interview after the fight and casting doubt on Ortiz's victory and future prospects. This was the beginning of their feud. The abrupt and intense clash between the two has sent shockwaves across the boxing community, prompting concerns about what might have generated such a stir among Golden Boy promotions. The seeds of this rivalry were planted during one of the most intense boxing contests of the year, involving rising star Virgil Ortiz Jr., a Golden Child boxer. Ortiz's fight on Saturday night resulted in a victory, yet it was one that left numerous fans and experts puzzled. Ortiz's bout against Serhiy Bohachuk, the fearsome WBC interim junior middleweight champion, was anything but routine. It was a difficult battle with explosive exchanges and strong performances by the two fighters. However, when the judges stated Ortiz was the winner, it was greeted with great suspicion. Bernard Hopkins, who was a straight shooter when it came to his views on the sport, was one of those who were not convinced by Ortiz's victory. Following the bout, Hopkins delivered an interview that surprised the boxing world. He publicly expressed doubts about Ortiz's victory and questioned the young fighter's future potential. This honest critique from somebody in Ortiz's own team laid the groundwork for the impending conflict. Oscar de la Hoya, Ortiz's promoter and one of his fans, was offended by Hopkins' words. Oscar de la Hoya, renowned for his outrageous behavior and passion, quickly defended Ortiz. He rushed to social media and issued a response to those who questioned Ortiz's victory, including Hopkins. De la Hoya's tweet was filled with frustration and faith in Ortiz's ability, dismissing criticisms and sticking fast behind his fighter. Initially, neither Oscar de la Hoya nor Hopkins addressed the disagreement publicly. However, when word circulated about Hopkins' interview, anger rose. When De La Hoya learned of Hopkins' doubts, the situation soon worsened. What began as a disagreement was now on the verge of escalating into a full-blown fight. The tension reached an all-time high when De La Hoya and Hopkins addressed each other in person. De La Hoya, visibly enraged by what he saw as betrayal, questioned Hopkins' commitment. The battle between Ortiz and Bohachuk was supposed to be a showcase for Ortiz's abilities, but it turned into a much more competitive fight. Ortiz, considered one of boxing's future great stars, suffered more than expected over the strong Ukrainian. Bohachuk, noted for his toughness and strength, gave Ortiz everything he could take, hitting hard blows and putting Ortiz down twice during the bout. Despite these defeats, Ortiz rallied in the last rounds, demonstrating his own tenacity and resolve. The judges finally gave him the victory with scores of 113 to 113, 114 to 112, and 114 to 112. However, a number of observers, including Hopkins, believed that the ruling was unfair. They believed Bohachuk accomplished enough for a victory, or that the bout should have ended in a tie. The debate was fueled further by CompuBox statistics, which revealed that Bohachuk surpassed Ortiz in several critical areas. Based on the statistics, Bohachuk delivered more punches and remained the most successful attacker during the bout. Many fans and analysts saw these statistics as proof that the judges had made a mistake. However, Oscar de la Hoya was not having any of it. He used social media to argue for Ortiz, publishing the CompuBox figures as a component of his response to the accusations. In his post, De La Hoya slammed people who questioned Ortiz's victory, claiming they had no knowledge of boxing and underestimated the young fighter's talent. This stance brought him into direct conflict with Hopkins, who had publicly expressed the same questions that De La Hoya was at present strongly denying. The animosity between De La Hoya and Hopkins seemed not only about the fight, but also about what it signified. For De La Hoya, Ortiz represented the future of Golden Boy Promotions, a boxer in whom he had made significant investments and hoped could grow into the next great. De La Hoya's reaction was a protection not only of Ortiz, but also of the company's existence. Hopkins, on the other hand, viewed things differently. To him, being truthful regarding what he witnessed in the ring seemed more essential than safeguarding a fighter's reputation. Hopkins decided it was preferable to admit Ortiz's weaknesses now than to let him continue without resolving the concerns that might undermine his future success. The dispute between Oscar De La Hoya and Hopkins immediately became the focus of the boxing world. Fans and experts everywhere joined in on the debate, with differing viewpoints on who was correct. Some defended Oscar De La Hoya, saying that his commitment to his opponent was admirable and suggesting he was correct to stand with Ortiz in the presence of adversity. Others agreed with Hopkins, cheering his honest act and stating that Ortiz's portrayal was not entirely genuine. De La Hoya, alongside Ortiz's trainer, Robert Garcia, wasted not much time in naming Terence Crawford as Ortiz's next opponent. Many interpreted this strong move as a strategy to redirect the spotlight away from the dispute and toward an upcoming blockbuster fight. Nevertheless, the fallout from the Bohachuk fight was not going to fade away, and leaping into a battle with Crawford without addressing the underlying concerns might be disastrous for Ortiz's career. Meanwhile, Hopkins continued critical of Ortiz's victory and questioned the wise decision of seeking a fight against Crawford shortly afterward. He believes Ortiz should solve the flaws raised in the Bohachuk fight before facing a competitor of Crawford's ability. Most in the boxing world echoed Hopkins' worries, believing that Ortiz had been pushed too severely and prematurely, and that another fight with Bohachuk might represent a better next step. As the situation heated up, the focus stayed on Ortiz and his prospects for the future. The young boxer, once regarded as an aspiring star, suddenly finds himself at the heart of a disagreement that could determine the course of his professional life. The resolution of this crisis would not only affect Ortiz, but it might also have far-reaching consequences for Golden Boy Promotions and the connection between its two top figures. In the end, De La Hoya's feud with Hopkins comprised more than merely one fight. It was a collision of concepts, one based on dedication and confidence in a fighter's ability, and another founded on honesty and the game's credibility. Ortiz's next decision will be vital not only for his own career, but also for the sustainability of Golden Boy Promotions. Whether he fights Crawford, Bohachuk, or another rival, the result of his next bout will determine whether he is actually the next major name in boxing or if Hopkins' reservations proven to be correct. As for Oscar De La Hoya and Hopkins, only time will tell if their once strong collaboration will endure the pressure of this highly publicized dispute, or if it will fall into another victim in the harsh world of professional boxing. That is the end of this video. What are your thoughts about this argument? What do you think about the performance of Ortiz? Write your thoughts in the comment section below. Let's meet again with another interesting video.